Hello, this is a Lighthouse Hall of Fame film from the European server. It's Akao. It is Pz38nA. And we're here in Steps, Standard Mode North Spawn. There's one artillery apiece, and his team is loaded down with lights. The enemy team has several lights and a lot of TDs as well. So this is going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be the mobility and agility of all his team's lights versus the frontal defense and big guns of the enemy's TDs. This should favor Akao's team, besides the fact he's on it, because this map is just an ideal map for lights to run around and do crazy things on. And they should be able to flank all the TDs fairly easily if they play with any degree of thought. So this is a great spot for any tier scout. You get to see anybody breaking across the middle like this LTP. And if you're lucky, one of your team members do it too, because if they do, everybody on the opposing line of rocks and bushes fire at them, and they light themselves up, so you can see exactly where the enemy defense is, and that helps you plan what you want to do later on in the fight.
Enemy is hit.
Now it looks like the enemy is making a push over in the east, which isn't very well defended, and his team's making a push in the west. So let's see how it breaks out. He'll move up here. The second spotting position up the chain.
That one didn't go through.
And he's firing AP and bouncing, so he switches to APCR and watch the difference.
Enemy armor is
Pen,
damaged.
and he would have penned again if he had a chance.
Enemy is hit.
And this is it's a good thing for the team in getting a win. It's a bad thing for piling up damage totals, and that is right now his team's so alert and competent and zoned in on creating damage. When he gets his spots, he's getting to fire one time, and before he can reload and fire again, the target's dead, which is pretty amazing because the Pz38nA actually has a fairly fast reload. So as I said, it's great for the team and the victory. It's bad if you want to pile up a good win total. Okay, I promise I won't make a heavy joke.
Enemy armor is hit.
However, you're free to fill in your own punchline if you want.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy is hit. Critical hit.
That rock keeps nabbing his bullet.
Enemy armor is hit. We didn't penetrate their armor.
So he takes his time, aims in, and hits the side of the turret where he can pen fairly easily and gets the kill. 8-8. They won the push in the east, and so far, his team's been able to hold their own in the west. So it's coming down to the time of a game where a light really shines on this map, because you start getting into the
Penetration.
area where you can use your mobility against the remaining enemy, and you win the fight.
Enemy armor is hit.
Hey, KO, aiming like that's a little different than on the 105, isn't it, buddy? He doesn't play the 38nA that much, so as he's playing, he's figuring out the lead time on this weapon. And he knows it's faster than the 105, so he's not leading it as much. You just have to find the sweet spot for what the distance needs to be. Only 3 tanks left. Looks like he's going to go up after the SU-25 or 26. There he is. He's sitting in a more forward position because of his limited range. It was actually an okay spot to be as long as he had a defense in front of him that let him shoot a little bit further across the field. One APCR round left, but it won't matter. Blue team defends the Type 29. Defends it very well, as you just saw. And now if he gets the Electo, he gets a Top Gun. So he'll come in, most likely go to the left because you expect the Electo to be looking toward the middle of the field. So if you go around here to the left, you think you're going to come out behind him. And then he discovers way in the back. It's like, oops, that didn't work quite right. It doesn't matter, just blast him. Get to his side, and get the Top Gun. Overall, he ends up with 1,417 points of damage and 6 kills. 29 of 43 shooting, 67%. He got 642 spot damage and 7 spots. Lost 27,539 credits. And he got 1,917 XP. Survived the fight, got a Top Gun in the high caliber, and threw in Duelist, Fire for Effect, and Bruiser mini medals. It gives him a battle score of 1,982, and that's high enough for 4th place on the Pz38nA list. Another very simple fight, and hopefully all you people are watching this. Game after game after game that ends up in the Hall of Fame. They aren't all fancy comebacks. There's a whole bunch of them where you just do your basic job and advance up the field, let your teammates help you take tanks out, and you end up with a monster mission because the enemy never kills you and you stay alive. And that's the key to big battles. You'll find very few big battles in the Hall of Fame where, or anywhere, where you die in the first 5 minutes. You get these things because you stay alive. And you stay alive by being cautiously aggressive, not recklessly aggressive. He went to a safe spotting spot, got a kill, got damage, got spots, got assisted damage. Once the initial exchanges were over, he moved up and spotted again, got some more damage, got another kill, I believe, and got a more spotting damage. From there he moved up even farther. He's doing it very methodically. As opposed, contrast that to the person who early in the fight runs all the way up here and finds themselves facing 3 or 4 enemy tanks. And everybody else is too far behind them than to do anything but randomly snipe tanks as they appear to shoot him. That guy dies. Never does much for his team. Never does much for himself, and certainly doesn't end up in the Hall of Fame. You do it by methodical aggression. Watching the map, knowing when to advance, knowing when to make the break, knowing, hey, if I go to the left around that last set of mountains, I'm probably going to flank the Electo. It didn't quite work out right, but when he discovered that the guy was back farther than he thought he would be, what's he do? He rushes to his side, prevents the guy from shooting him again while he gets off that last kill shot. It's fundamentals. Learn the fundamentals. Watch videos. Go to all the different sites that teach you how to scout and listen to what they're saying. And even if you don't end up in the Hall of Fame, you're going to see your gameplay improve dramatically. From steps, showing off his little Pz38nA. It's Akao. Happy hunting.